Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has termed ties with China as not normal. Speaking at an event, General Dwivedi described the situation at the LAC as sensitive but not normal. He said that the situation was stable, but the Indian side wants it to be restored to what it was before April 2020. Noteworthy is that in April 2020, China attempted to transgress the Indian side of the de facto border. The attempt was thwarted by the Indian forces. However, tension prevails in eastern Ladakh bordering China.
As far as China is concerned, it has been intriguing our mind for quite some time. And I keep saying with China, you have to compete, you have to cooperate, you have to coexist, you have to confront and contest. So what's the situation today as we are looking at? The positive signaling is coming from the diplomatic side. But what we have to understand, the diplomatic side gives you the options and possibilities. But when it comes to the execution on ground, when it relates to the ground per se, it is dependent on the military commanders on both the sides to take those decisions. So what's the situation today? It's stable, but it's not normal and it's sensitive. So if that be the case, what are we wanting? We are wanting that the situation, what was there pre-April 2020, that should be restored back. Whether in terms of the ground occupation situation or the buffer zones which have been created or patrolling which have been kind of planned as of now. So till the time that situation is not restored, as far as we are concerned, situation will remain sensitive and we are fully operationally prepared to face any kind of a contingency which will come through. And in complete gamut, if we see, the trust has become the biggest casualty.
And General Dwivedi also has said that the model villages set along the line of actual control are acting as a strong front against the villages set up by China along the border. General Dwivedi said in this regard that the state governments have been empowered to put in those resources, and this is the time when the army, state governments and supervision by the central government are all coming together.
As far as Indian Army is concerned, we already been having these kind of model villages, etc., which we have been carrying out this job. We have Op Sadbhavna, Op Samaritan, we have been having these kind of resources. But what is more important, that the state governments have been empowered now to kind of put in those resources, and this is the time where the army, the state governments, and supervision by the central government, all three are coming together. So the model villages which are coming up now will be much more better.
Meanwhile, Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi praised Israel for the meticulous operation that they undertook through the pager blasts against the Hezbollah terrorist leadership. Speaking at an event, General Dwivedi said that creating the shell companies for the operation was a masterstroke by the Israelis, as it took years of preparations. Here, he said that Indian security agencies need to be watchful of supply chain interruption and interception.
Really, in this case, Israel has decided very clearly that Hamas is primary focus which I must maintain. So what is done? He is completely, firstly, wiped out the Hamas opposition. Thereafter, he said, okay, let me see on the other side. And if you see the pager, what you're talking about, it's a Taiwan company being supplied to Hungarian company thereafter giving it to them. The shell company which has been created is something which is a masterstroke by Israel. And for that, it requires years and years of preparation. So it means they were prepared for it. And that is what it counts, that the war does not start the way you start fighting. It starts the day you start planning. And this is what is most important. So they had planned all these activities. And what they did? Firstly, they made sure that the pages get blasted off. People get injured, people die. Okay. Now what happens? Perforce now you have to shift to mobile. Moment you shift to mobile, what happens? Your signals are getting triangulated. They also went way ahead. They went for the sonic boom. What they did, they flew the aircraft in a manner that the sonic boom makes a sound in different timings. Once it makes a different timings, and Nasrullah was creating a live relay. When he was creating a live relay, they carried out a triangulation methodology to focus which building is he staying. Now that kind of a something which is never heard of earlier. This is the first time we are hearing this kind of a thing.